Hello, booktubers. This is the Scarlet Gentleman. I'm here with another book report on something called Silver Scream, edited by Donald Schow. It's a horror anthology, and it's been sitting on my shelf for eons. I think I got it at Savers or something. Of course, I left it upstairs, but you'll be able to see it in the thumbnail. Um, I made it part of my Halloween reading, and I'm glad I did because if you've ever been a fan of horror movies or movies in general, but especially horror movies. Um, you'll recall back in the 80s and early 90s, there were like these flea pit video stores where you could find like the most obscure, cheesy, schlockiest horror, trash, psychotronic stuff ever made. And it seems like those were the only stores that would carry it. I mean, you had your blockbusters and all that, but they never went beyond a certain level into the subculture of filming. And I lived with a roommate who was a horror movie fanatic encyclopedia, and he would forever go and find these tawdry little treasures and play them. And that's what this book is basically trying to evoke the feeling of. And to be honest, I had a really good time with this book. There were very few stories that didn't agree with me. There's two of them. If you ever knew someone who was going to head out to LA to become an actor or something like that, I'd have them read two stories in that book. One of them is oh, of course, can I remember the titles now? A Life in Cinema would be one of them, and of course the other one I can't remember. But it covers the whole sleazy aspect of trying to get famous and meeting up with all these other parasitic people, agents, uh, fellow people that want to compete with you to get famous, and they develop drug habits, and next thing you know they're pimping themselves out of the street. So that aspect gets covered quite a bit. There's one great story in there where a Christian, how do I put this, a Christian movie, I guess he's a Christian youth leader or something like that, is a he's a suppressed serial killer, and the tables get turned on him. But the thing is, the the carpet gets pulled out from underneath you in such a way that you don't even see that it's coming. Excellent stuff there. And the book ends on nothing short of a psychotronic apocalyptic note with see if I can, it's called Pilgrims to the Temple. No, yeah, Pilgrims to the Temple. And it's basically a love letter to all things trashy, schlocky, grindhouse snuff film. And it's basically where two belief systems are colliding with each other. You have this one gentleman who basically likes being the center of attention and likes being a leader, wants to be a member of a cult, so he basically becomes a televangelist and everything like that. And this other person, who this other guy who basically bought a used drive-in lot just so he could camp out, just so he could basically live there without the cops hassling him. And he meets a flunked out hippie business graduate, and he turns it into this awesome festival of sleaze, and it just basically takes over the whole county. So eventually these two forces come and meet each other, and it's for towards the end of it, it's like 10 pages of apocalyptic visionary retribution in the drive-in theater lot. I mean, I think it's worth it for that. I would have liked to see it as a novel. I mean, that's how it was. It's basically like a small novella, but I would like to see it expanded because there are many, many interesting characters in it. But yeah, this was just a really fun with Clive Barker's. And although his story was not a favorite of mine, um, yeah, I understand it's been out of print for a while, but now it's recently back in print. So please get yourself a copy of Silver Screams. It's worth the asking price, worth the admission price, and give it a read because, yeah, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, but it was completely appropriate for this Halloween season of reading. So go get it, enjoy it, and I highly recommend it. Take care. This is a Scarlet Gentleman signing out.